And there is the dressing. Crispy on top. We're gonna try it. And I have some greens, some collard greens. Because if you're gonna eat some dressing, you should have some collard greens with it. Oh, look at that. That looks good. Okay, so we're going to start with a 1 carton of broth. I've used chicken broth. You can use whatever broth you would like. And the seasonings that I am using today are black pepper, and I'm using 1 tablespoon of each. I started out with 1 tablespoon of sage, but I felt like I needed more. So I did end up using 2 full tablespoons of sage. I also used almost a tablespoon of salt, keeping in mind that your broth will have salt in it, so you don't want to go overboard. I use seasoned salt. Also, I used onion powder, not onion salt. I used a tablespoon of onion powder. Now, if I would have had some poultry seasoning, I would have used a tablespoon of poultry season because it does have thyme and sage and rosemary, which is really good. Now, at this point, my oven is preheating to 350 degrees, and I'm going to try something different. I'm going to make my dressing in the iron skillet. So this is sweet cornbread, and I think I use a little bit too much. I think for the amount of dressing that I made, I only needed about half of that. So this is about 2 loaves of white bread that I have allowed to get stale. I just put it in, dice it up, and put it on top of my refrigerator for about 2 or 3 days with the lid on it loosely. Then combine um, the bread with a packet of stuffing mix or crouton mix. That's not nearly enough liquid, so I will be adding water, but you have the option of adding your another carton of broth. I was concerned about the salt, so I just added water, and that's perfectly fine. So like I said, I wanted to try making the dressing in an iron skillet. This is my first time doing it like that. Now, I would have normally added a little bit more liquid. However, it turned out perfectly fine. You can add more liquid if you want, but keep in mind that if you make it too wet, it will never turn solid. No matter how long you bake it, it will be gooey in the inside. And it is much better to keep it this consistency than to make it overly wet. It's really good.